I think we are ready to make the cookies. Let's go! Okay, here we are at our workspace, ready to begin. Our first ingredient is butter. We need 240 grams of butter. A G means grams. So that's why we got our scale, because the scale can measure the grams of things. So before we start, a couple of things. You need to wash your hands. So my hands are nice and clean. Second, if you have an apron, you should put it on. An apron will help keep your clothes clean. This apron is red, and I made this apron when I was a student, and I still have it. Okay, let's start with our butter. We need 240 grams of butter. Okay, good. Now that our butter is ready, we just put it aside. Because next we need to measure the powdered sugar. When we measure things, we put the container on the scale and then push the tare button. That will change the number back to 0. And now we are ready to measure the powdered sugar. How much do we need? 180 grams. Okay, next we need brown sugar, 60 grams. We can just add the brown sugar together with the powdered sugar. So I have 180 grams of powdered sugar. I can push the tare button again, and it will change back to 0. Now I can measure the brown sugar. 60 grams. Good. Now I have 180 grams plus 60 grams. Our sugar is ready. Now we are going to mix the butter and the sugar. We need our mixing bowl. We also need something to mix with because we're not going to use our hands. No way. So I brought a spatula.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
A spatula is a little bit soft. It can help us mix the ingredients together. First, let's mix the butter. Sometimes you need 2 spatulas.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
Our butter is in the mixing bowl. Now we need to add our sugar into the mixing bowl. Let's add it carefully. Good. Time to eat, right? No, we need to mix it up. So we can use our spatula or we can use a whisk. I think right now a spatula is okay to start with.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
When we mix very slowly and carefully. We don't want sugar to go flying out. We just mix them together. Make sure they're mixed very well. We do not want clumps of sugar or butter. We want a nice, smooth mixture. Okay, this is pretty good. You can take a look. This is what it should look like. Now comes a fun part. We are going to crack the eggs. So we're going to crack the eggs into this cup. Here we go. We need to put the cup down and then hold it with one hand, and with the other hand, we gently but firmly crack the egg and use our two thumbs to open it up and dump the egg in, like that. Again, we hold the cup with one hand, 1, 2, 3, crack, and we split it open and drop the egg into our little cup. Now we are going to mix the eggs up so that they are nice and smooth. Again, hold the cup with one hand. You can mix it for about 20 seconds. Okay. Now this is important. Do not dump all the eggs into the butter and sugar mixture. Just a little bit first. Now I'm going to use the whisk. So take a little bit of the egg and then slowly start to mix. When it's done, it should look like this. Now it's time for another fun part. We are going to measure the flour and then sift the flour into the mixture. So remember this container, I used it to measure the sugar in. Well, it's still pretty clean, so you can just wipe it out with a tissue and you can reuse it for the flour. So put it on first, then push your tare button to 0 the scale. It's time for our cake flour. We need a lot of it. We need 600 grams of cake flour. So let's carefully add it and measure 600 grams. Almost the whole bag. It's time to use the sifter. You always hold the sifter over the bowl. the mixing bowl. And with your other hand, carefully put some of the flour, pour some of it into the sifter. Okay? Then you just do this. If you don't have a flour sifter at home, that's okay. You can just use a regular strainer. Watch this. If I dump some flour in and then I just use my hand to tap. Now we take our whisk and carefully, gently mix it all together. You gotta go slow. If the whisk is too difficult, you can use spatula.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
Or even a fork. Let's try a fork. When the flour and the butter sugar mixture are kind of starting to mix well, you can switch to a spatula and finish it up. It should be very thick and pretty dry. This part is a little heavy, so you might need some help. Now, if you get a little piece of this dough, is it okay to eat it now? No way, because you put eggs in it, and these eggs haven't been cooked. They are still raw. Raw eggs can be dangerous. So even if your cookie dough smells amazing, don't eat it yet. Okay. I think my dough is just about ready. Let's take a smell. Smells so good. Now what you can do is you can just use your hands to kind of make a ball. And scrape out the bowl. Okay, and it looks pretty good. I'll come and show you what it should look like. Here is your cookie dough. The cookie dough should be smooth, firm, not sticky. Okay, good. So this is kind of a lot of dough, so we're not going to use all of this dough right now. We can divide it into half. Make a nice log and use your spatula to cut it in half. Much better. All right, so now we're going to use this bag. Now my bag is special because when you open the bag, I cut the sides of the bag open so that it will open all the way up. Now I'm going to take half of my dough and put it in this plastic bag. I'm going to push it down a little bit to make it flatter. Then I'm going to use my rolling pin to flatten it out. We do not want it too flat or too thin, just 6 millimeters. A millimeter is mm. We need 6 millimeters, that's it. Now it is perfectly rolled out, but the dough is too warm. So I'm going to put this in the freezer for 5 to 10 minutes.
Preheat the oven to 170 degrees.
Really? With your foot?
Yeah.
Now we need some baking paper. This is special paper. It can go in the oven and get very hot. Now we need another piece of baking paper. Because this is where we're going to put our cookies. Now is the fun part, the cookie cutter part. I want an ice cream cone. Now what do you do with this leftover dough? Simple. You just ball it up again, roll it flat, and put it back in the freezer. And then you can make more. Now the oven is preheated properly, so that means it's hot inside. It's ready for the cookies. Don't forget to wear your oven mitts. This is very hot. And then just pop them in the oven. Let's check. Oh, yes. Those are ready. It smells amazing in here. Here are the finished, beautiful cookies. Kids, the cookies are ready. Come, you can eat them. Which one do you want? Nope, nope, you have to eat these ones. Just kidding. Take your favorite. What is that one?
The heart.
Is that an ambulance?
Yeah.
All right, take a bite.
That's a hot truck.
Yeah, Lillian, go get one.